I think we're good to go, man. So
Beautiful.
welcome aboard, everybody. My name is Doobyis. This thing is called Fly in Formation, weekly interview series that I do live here on Twitch. I appreciate, people who are coming through, talking in chat. If you've got questions for artists, feel free to ask them. I, admit that I can't pay full attention to the chat sometimes, so I do miss some stuff. But if you've got something good to ask and I see it, I'll definitely ask. This is, I think, episode we on here. Where you got episode 123 today. So joining me today, my guest Shylow the Gray, aka Predacon. Welcome on board, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing really well, dude. So I got a chance to stop in at your Twitch stream there yesterday and say hi. Saw you doing your thing with the morning uh, session, being able to play some music for the people, a bunch of remixes. Were you playing exclusively remixes on that, or was some of that?
Yeah. I hadn't played any of the shit that I've been dropping over the last few months, so I figured, okay, like if I get a decent number of people in here, I'll hang out for a couple hours and just play everything that I got and catch everybody up because I don't know who on Twitch is following me on any other platforms. I know some people are. I'm imagining some are just exclusive to Twitch, so I figure I'd just catch the heads up with some shit.
Dude, it can sometimes be tough to get a Twitch audience to come through. I was impressed with how many people you had in there. Do you think most of those are people you know, or like, are you managing to access new crowds throughout Twitch?
Um,
Would
I
Would you
I
guess?
I haven't had well, I mean, I haven't been on very much, so I haven't had like any new raids or anything like that to bring anybody new in.
Sure.
And you know what it's like trying to get people to come from one platform to another. So it's like even if I told people on Instagram like, "Hey, come over to Twitch," it's like, yeah, right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I'd have a better
I know
chance
the
of going
feeling.
live on Instagram at the same time than actually getting people to fucking go on Twitch and like hang out. I'm like, come talk, come hang out. We're playing music, we're having a good time. Come on over. Nothing.
Yeah, yeah. I always say it must just be because people are at work through the day. I'm here streaming and, working on AtSick or online doing my own music or whatever else, playing video games, listening to new music even. But like, yeah, I think everybody's got those day jobs. They're maybe a little bit afraid of Twitch. Like they
Yeah,
might be
it's like
more active to come through if it was like YouTube or something, I think.
It's
But
like,
people
where
are
the
afraid of
fuck is everybody? What are you guys doing? You should be
where are you all
listening to
at?
me. Where are you?
Yeah. Fuck your day job. Get over here. No.
Yeah, fuck your day job for real.
Fuck your day job probably, unless you like your day job. But um, so dude, can we talk? I guess let's just start. Let's take things, all the way back and start off the top. Can you just kind of talk about like some of the eras of your career? I was listening through Contingency Plan, and it's really autobiographical, right? Like you talk about a lot of things you've went through in the past and experiences you've had in the hip hop realm uh, through the years. So I just kind of wanted to start like can you kind of trace the path through your musical journey for us?
That's a loaded question. You said we got an hour, man. We got an hour.
Yeah, sum it up. You
Do you
know,
have other questions? Because
yeah,
if we get
I
those,
got all sorts of other stuff to get to. Yeah, well, we'll see.
um, okay. Well, where did I guess
'Cause
the
I don't
most
know your full history. I don't know, what groups you've been part of and stuff like that in the past. So, I
well,
think
I'd
there's
say like the
probably
most
people
the
out
most
there who want to hear.
significant beginnings would probably be like the late '90s with the Bomb Shelter Association, which was like a little like a loose kind of crew sort of thing that I started. You see things like hieroglyphics and all these different crews, and I knew a lot of talented people in the area, so it's just like, oh, I wonder if we got together and like helped each other out. Maybe that could be a cool thing. Um, I Yeah, that was a mess. That whole thing was a mess because it wasn't meant to go down the way that it did. It was everything was initially me and at the time my rhyme partner expertise. We were working on group stuff as the Pillow Snatches, and he lived in Thunder Bay, and he'd fly down here, stay for like a week or a month or whatever. We'd get some recording done, and during one session when we were at my mentor Technique's place. I don't know if you remember Simply Majestic.
Doesn't ring a
From
bell. No.
this
What
is like
year are we
it's like
talking about here?
this is early '90s shit.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
one of the like actually the first Juno Award winner for rap. His name's B. Well, his name back then was Be Cool.
Okay.
He goes by Carlito the Don now, but he was one of the first to win a Juno, and I believe the song that he won the Juno for was on that Simply Majestic compilation.
I
But
believe
another guy
Danny
who
O
was on
told me
there,
about that same dude winning
yeah,
the Juno for the first one. Yeah.
another guy who was on that compilation was Frank Morel. He was like Frank Morel and Brothers from the Ghetto. Song was called "Play That Music, DJ." And then like years later, in the mid '90s, he changed his name to Technique.
Okay.
And my manager at the time, Gab, he brought me to Tech and for him to produce some shit for me. And oh man, it's hard trying to remember all this stuff. It's a lot. There was a session where we were there recording some pillow snatches stuff, and some of the other crew members were like, you know what would be great is if we got all the other guys in the crew and they recorded songs and we put them all together and we did this as a big crew thing instead of just the two of you guys. And I was like, well, we're the ones here putting in the fucking work, are you serious? And then of course it was unanimous, like, yeah, that's a great
Right.
idea. It's like, well,
Everybody
fuck,
else wanted on, right? Yeah.
I'm outnumbered. So um, we put that record out. We were actually that was right around the time when the internet started to become like a thing. And we wound up, well, one of our members, Fear, wound up leaking it himself on the internet, and it spread like wildfire. It was actually one of the first like it was one of the first projects that I know of that actually got like independently leaked on the internet. This is like
Sure.
1998.
98
It
was
wound
like
up reaching
Napster and
Chuck.
shit even around at that point. I don't think it
I don't even.
was
I
it?
know. I remember fucking. Everybody was chatting on. You remember IRC?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Shit. That's where the chat rooms and all that kind of shit.
Right.
Um, it wound up reaching Chuck D from Public Enemy, and he wrote an article in Elemental magazine and rated one of my songs from the compilation called "Stomp" as like the top download for the year 2000, which was like,
That's pretty wild,
it's
man.
like my fucking hero.
Did you go
And
to the rest of the group and be like, "See, Chuck thinks it should have just been me on
yeah, just me, just me. No, no.
here."
No, there was some. Trust me, there are some other guys in the crew that were fucking monsters. Yeah. Everybody held their own. Everybody
Yeah,
did their thing,
right on.
on the mic at least.
Sure.
Um, and it actually wound up reaching like LP from Company Flow. I ran into him. We went to a concert, and I walked up and introduced myself, and he said, he's like, "Oh, you you know a crew called the Bomb Shelter?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." He's like, "Yeah, you guys are fucking awesome, man." And I was like,
Sure.
"Yeah,"
Shit,
because
making waves,
like
man,
I,
early.
we were ripping those dudes off on that album, like straight up. We wanted to be Co-Flow so fucking bad it wasn't even funny. Like every one of us was ripping LP off, like our production, our rhyme flows, everything. So it was like the fact that he like gave us props was like a shock because I figured he'd just be like, "Yo, you guys are trying to fucking be like us.
Yeah, no,
Stop it."
you must have been doing well if the guy whose style you were kind of biting was like, all right with it. That
Yeah, we must have
good
put our own
cosign.
spin on things enough that he didn't hear himself in what we were doing. But yeah, we were heavily influenced by Fun Crusher Plus, and yeah, it was a huge influence. So fans today who are still rocking with me remember that shit. So that Bomb Shelter era was definitely an era. Um, I would say of like in the like around 2002, 2003 ish, was when I put out my first solo single, "Moment of Clarity," which was the A side. Yeah, that song was produced by Ayatollah. The B side was produced by Marco Polo, and it was actually Marco's second. He did a song for a dude named Scientific before that, but I think that record was only distributed locally. This 12-inch was distributed by Fat Beats, so I believe it was his first international release.
Cool, man. Yeah.
So that was an era. I basically, for the next 2 decades, helped Marco build his career. So I wasn't doing a lot of my own shit. It was mostly, uh, doing what I could to help him with a little bit of my own thing here and there.
That's
But
interesting, man. When you say that, like, are you talking like behind the scenes, like industry management, kind of helping get placements and those kind of things, or like,
no
uh,
production.
oh,
I like
okay,
I
actually,
like I got the name Beat Yoda from him because I taught him how to use the MPC
okay,
when we went to school together in '99, and and I've been part of every I was part of every project that he'd ever worked on, pretty much up until the last album that him and Master Ace put out, Richmond Hill.
so yeah, man,
So yeah, if you look on the back, you'll see executive produced by Shylow, which is just a fancy way of saying uh, I can't really give him the exact credit that he deserves, but we'll say executive producer.
yeah, it's nice to have your name on the project still. That counts for something for sure.
Sure,
Um,
sure,
have you? Sure, it does. have you
sure.
uh, have you been an MC or a producer longer? What first got you kind of
MC
hooked on it?
first.
Okay,
MC first. Everything else was because of the MC thing, right? Because when I realized I wanted to make mute when I made the decision that I want to make music, I knew that it was going to be hard trying to find other people to get the other things done that I wanted. Especially after going through having a manager and having him bring me to producers, and this didn't work out and this didn't work out, and it was just like, well, if I'm ever going to do this, I'm going to have to fucking learn how to do all this shit myself. So I taught myself how to scratch because I knew I love scratches and I want scratches in my songs. I
yeah,
taught myself how to do beats because I'm like, one day I'm gonna have to fucking make the beats myself. So I taught myself how to do that shit. And then, when I did start making my own music, it was like, okay, well, I'll teach myself how to mix because,
it's easier
I
than
taught
paying
myself how to
somebody.
do
Yeah,
everything else, you know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
yeah, those skills were picked at, and I grew a passion for those things in the process. Like I became, I fell in love with making beats. I fell in love with scratching. So those things weren't like it's not like those things. Mixing is a chore. Mixing and mastering is a fucking chore. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Hate it. Hate it. Hate
It
it.
takes a special type to actually enjoy mixing and mastering, I think.
Yeah,
There's
I
some guys who are
fucking hate it.
yeah, you
but
gotta be half
but cutting, scratching, and making beats. Love those things. I was very happy to pick those things up.
sure. Do you still mix and master your own stuff, or do you outsource it now because you don't
Oh
like it?
no, yeah, I've got full control over everything that I do, and I try as hard as I can to keep it that way. It's really the only way to ensure that things wind up sounding the way that they're supposed to,
Right.
in
Okay,
my opinion,
so
from my
back to
perspective.
yeah, I think I agree with you on that one. A lot of artists would, I think. Um, yeah, i-
There's
it's
something to
tough
be
to let
said
go
for
of your baby and
outsourcing though.
hand it
Like
away,
I
right?
would never sit here and claim to be the best mastering engineer. Like
Okay.
so, but I mean they're expensive,
Yeah.
and I guess it works in my favor that mixing and mastering isn't the highest priority for everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
even if you go on spot, there's so many. If you were to go and look at like mixing for streaming platforms, and then there's all these rules like you're supposed to mix to -13 lufs if you're doing Spotify, and this and
Right.
this and that. And it's like, well, if you're signed up with a distribution service like a DistroKid, it's like you upload one fucking master.
And they
So I don't
send it
know how I'm
everywhere.
supposed to
Yeah.
give in them. They don't have a section for it. Upload your Spotify master here. Upload your Apple Music master here. It's like you upload one fucking thing, and that gets distributed everywhere. And
Yeah.
I got for the first few because I listened to those rules. I got fucked because my everybody else, no one's following those rules. Nobody's following those rules. Everybody's mastering to the absolute loudest fucking loudness
Right to
level
the
possible.
ceiling. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm here and I'm like, why does my shit sound so fucking quiet? It's because nobody was listening to these rules. And then when I figured it out, I was like, ah, fuck. whatever. I'll just hammer the loudness all to shit. And but I mean, really, it's the wild west out there now. I just
Yeah.
try to make my shit knock as best as I possibly can to compete with what's out there.
I have heard and kind of seen in my own experience that it seems like maybe the loudness wars have stopped, or maybe just in underground music they've stopped. Like I think mainstream stuff is probably all still mixed to max out all the way across, but I hear a lot of music that's like leaves a few decibels of headspace there, and I've got to turn the mixer up when I play it or whatever. But for me, that's like you said, that's a lower priority. I'm looking for the beat, the lyrics,
Yeah.
as long as it's like listenable quality. I haven't been to audio school, and I feel like at a certain point you have to have been to audio school before you're going to be like, oh well, this sounds pretty good, but it's a little muddy in the you know, this frequency or whatever, like, yeah, some guys
I
really
would
can dial
definitely
that in.
blame the drumless factor for any sort of like mastering loudness war being thrown out the window because drumless shit's going to win just for the simple fact that there's no fucking drums in it. So it's like you got massive amounts of headroom for your shit to be loud as fuck if you don't have drums in your beats.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, you
I
got to
saw
learn
you
to
say
master a little.
yeah, I saw you say on Instagram the other day that, loud drums, low vocals, that's how we'll make the music sound good again.
Oh, we
You
can.
don't like drumless stuff, I take it? I'll judge off of that.
I don't like it as a genre.
Okay,
I like it as a thing to do every now and again. Like if you had an album and there were one or two songs where it called for it,
right.
but as a thing, I think that's very much a an arrogant rapper thing that has created this aura that the rapper is king and more important than the producer, and that producers now have kind of succumbed to this thing where
Yeah,
fucking oh, you got to give the rapper is the artist and they are god, and you've got to give them everything that they want, their precious little their lyrics, and everything about the rapper needs to shine. I'm a fucking rapper. I'll rather bury myself beneath my fucking drum so that when I'm in the whip, I can turn my banging shit up and I can feel that fucking snare trying to beat the living and kick, trying to beat the shit out of me because that's the 90s. That's what I grew up on is fucking you turn that shit up and that shit crank. You after the fifth or sixth listen, I start paying attention, hearing what you're saying, memorizing your shit because fucking I've just listened to the track for the beat 10 to 20 times and fucking losing my mind. Like that's my experience with hip hop is the beat first with the
I think
music.
the whole culture, like you said, has shifted towards this thing where, especially outsiders, people who aren't, part of hip hop themselves, they kind of like, I've heard people tell me like, oh, I like, 50 Cent's music because he has such good beats, or like insert artist into that random name space, but because they have good beats. And I kind of think like, that they don't make the beats though, right? Like that they're working with other artists who are making the beats, and the person you mentioned is the lyricist. Like, and people don't even have that understanding, kind of widespread throughout society. So, like, uh, yeah, that might play into kind of why this whole like, well, put the spotlight on me. It's a step towards spoken word poetry almost. Like,
Absolutely, I agree, and in which case, just fucking release a book, as far
yeah,
as I'm concerned, because
or do
more
spoken word
times than
poetry.
not, the content is the fucking same. So it's like you want me to just hear you.
Yeah,
What are you saying other than fucking I sell drugs and I do this and I do that? It's like you better have like some fucking insane, like who I would rather hear drumlet like rap over drumless beats? Those battle rappers, because those motherfuckers can really rap. Those
yeah.
guys got fucking
And there's a
those guys
lot
take.
going on in each bar where you've got to
Yeah,
catch
it's like,
multiple
okay,
layers. Yeah,
fucking, like Daylight, he could get away with doing a fucking a drumless rap record because it's hard enough to catch all the crazy shit that he says a cappella. You know
right.
what I mean? So it's like imagine him saying all the wild shit that he comes up with over a fucking an 85 BPM drum track. Fuck off,
100%, man.
impossible.
Yeah.
But I
Um,
mean, I could go on for days.
let's go back to the eras thing. Let's keep circling back to that. We can just do offshoots from, the history of your music career here. So you
Well,
had
there was
mentioned
definitely,
working.
like, I would say, like within the whole, like, I'd say mid 2000s, there was an era that nobody really knows about because nothing got released during that. Like anything that anybody would have heard from me would have been like Wildin' Out on Stupendous Adventures on one of Marco's records. Like that
Okay,
was a song that I made for an album that I was working on that we had sent. I think I even said in I laid out a whole bunch of stuff in that song. Was it called "Listen" on Contingency Plan,
sounds familiar. Yeah,
where I basically said, like, I made a record and I put or I made an album and we sent it to some labels to see if they fuck with it, and they basically, some prominent guys, and
I
said
think that
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 they
was
thought
the
that,
track I was talking
yeah,
about.
they thought
Actually,
that it
yeah,
sounded
yeah,
too old school, and
yeah.
that kind of hit me. It was like, I'm working hard on this shit, and it's like, it's this shit sounds a little old school or whatever. So at that point, I started grabbing some beats from, I started paying for production. I got a beat from Jake One. I got a beat from Kev Brown. Um, I wound up getting a beat from Premiere. I wound up getting all this stuff so that I could make this undeniable crazy record. But depression just got a hold of me.
Yeah.
I couldn't shake the whole "you sound old school" this and that, because even with all this stuff, it was like, you know, I don't know. I just couldn't shake it, and I
Aging
could.
is a motherfucker, man. As a somebody in the public eye who has been chasing a dream or whatever, I can relate. I think a lot of people hit that wall where it's like, what have I fucking done with my time? Like,
Yeah, yeah, it was
you know,
hard, man. It was hard. I mean, and I'd been through a lot of personal things, like I'd lost friends through music, and it's just, things just weren't going well. Um, so I wound up reconnecting with expertise, my pillow snatchers partner, and he was like, "You know what? We never did get to put out that album that we tried to put out back in the day, or tried to make back in the day. Why don't we fucking, why don't we do this? Why don't we just say fuck it, and let's do this thing. Let's start from scratch, come up with a new name, reinvent ourselves, and do the album that we always dreamed of doing." And I said, "Yes, let's do it." I took every beat that I had, every feature that I had. So yeah, my Large Pro had given me a couple verses. We used those. We used those for a song called "Long Winding Road," which Marco wound up jacking from us and putting on Newport Authority 2, which I was fine with because, like, we were about to release the First Division record. It was good promo for us, so I was like, okay,
sure.
cool, cool.
Lots of ears on it that
Um,
way. Yeah.
yeah. So, the Kev Brown track that I had was basically, I took my second verse off. I used that on another song so that X could drop a verse on that. The Jake One posse cut that I had Scoob from Das Effects, Superstition, Torre. At the time, it had a verse from Jason on it, but by the time we got to releasing it, he had said a bunch of stuff about, like, Duck Down is the label, Special Teams is the group, and it
Okay.
kind of dated the song. So yeah, and I wasn't able to reach him, to get him to redo his verse, or for him to approve me to edit it in any kind of way. So I left that off the song, and Prince Poe wound up dropping a verse in its place. But shouts to Jason, man. That verse is incredible. I'm hoping that at some point I'll be able to, like, release like a demo version for people to hear, because he came through for. I still owe him a beat too.
Yeah.
Um, oh man, trying to think of there's
Your
so
timeline.
much. There's
Yeah,
yeah, there's
man.
just yeah, there's so much. Um,
So this was the
yeah,
Dookie Bros.
so the
You
first division
reformed as
record.
the
I'm
Dookie
throwing
Bros.
everything that I've got. Yeah, like Preem hadn't even he. Here's a little tidbit.
Sure.
The beat that Primo wound up making for me was meant for Torre. Well, no, what was meant for me wound up going to Torre. So the first time that I met Preem, met him at the actual, like, the D&D studios, which is fucking crazy. I met
Yeah.
Showbiz that day. I met D Flow from GD that day. It was a crazy day. Preem played a whole bunch of shit, and then he played the beat for This Is the Time, the first division track that we put out. He played the beat, and he said this is for Busta. Like, holy fuck, this shit is amazing. So at that time, I had the beat, the Torre for the record beat. Um, and Preem got a call from Busta while we were there.
Damn.
Busta was like, "Yo, I need a different. I'm not going to use that beat. I need a different beat." I was like, holy fuck, Preem, let me have it, let me have it, please, please, please. I begged him and begged him and begged him. And this was probably like a Monday or a Tuesday in the week, and he made me wait like till like Thursday, and called Marco, and he's like, "Yo, tell Shy he can have the beat." So we did a trade. So the beat that he made for me wound up going back to him. I got the Busta beat, and then eventually Torre got that beat that he made for me, and that's the song for the record that was on his album for the record.
Dope. Man, legendary
So
shit. Yeah.
um yeah, so I mean, like I said, I took everything that I had either bought, purchased, cashed in a favor, whatever. I threw everything that I had at this album. It was like, if this is going to work, I need to use all this shit. And yeah, that's what that album was. I mean, we could get into the drama of the breakup with that whole thing, or we could just move on from that.
Sure.
That's up to you.
I mean, you kind of touch on it a little bit that you felt slighted or whatever on that album. I heard some bars referencing what sounded like a bit of a rough breakup, but I don't know. I
No,
don't
I
really
mean,
think it needs to be
I don't know if
rehashed.
necessarily if he felt slighted.
Okay.
He moved away when the record dropped. Like, so, we get the CDs in our hands physically, and then he moved 16 hours up north to Thunder Bay,
God damn.
rendering it fucking impossible for us to do shows or anything. So that was basically like, okay, well, I guess we got a CD, and that's the end of that. It's that simple. He moved away, so we couldn't do anything. It took a year and six horrible test pressings for the vinyl to finally drop. um and by that time, like, we weren't even really speaking, so
Damn.
the whole thing just fell apart. It's
That sucks after putting that much work into it, man. But
Tell me about it. It took 3 years to make that record.
that's the motherfucker with collaborating as artists, though, because for people who are doing this without it being their main career that's paying their bills on the day to day basis, sometimes shit comes up and, you know, some emergency happens and you have to duck out of the scene or move 16 hours north to make money doing some job, I can only assume, or whatever, right? A
Yeah, I
lot of
mean,
people move to
it is
Alberta to do oil shit or whatever, but yeah,
it is what it is. Like, we knew that it was coming. It was hard when it did, because all that work, and there was no way to make anything of it. There wasn't going to be a second album. There wasn't going to be like anything. It just died right on release. It died. So that was
and
tough.
I feel like that was a traumatic event in your career that has led you to be like, you know what, fuck everybody else. I got to do this all on my own, and
Yeah, well, I mean, that in itself birthed Shy the Beat Yoda.
sure,
When we filmed the video for This Is the Time, we actually got a rare invite to Preem's radio show on Sirius Satellite called
dope,
Live from Headquarters.
yeah,
And he allowed us to bring our videographer there to film the whole thing, and we were allowed to use the footage in the music video. That's why you see like us in the studio with him. Um, and he had asked why. Um, I can't remember the exact. I think he asked me why I don't make beats. Why, because he knew I taught Marco, And he was like, why don't you make beats? Because
Yeah,
Marco's like this and that. And like I just said, like when Marco got good, I figured, I'd fall back, concentrate on rhyming because the beats would be taken care of.
sure.
Um, they weren't really, but I wound up making it all work through some slick moves and paying some people. I was able to put the first division record together. But when that fell apart, I lost my desire to rhyme. I completely fucking. I was like, you know what? Fuck rapping. Like I'm done. I don't want to. I spent 3 fucking years, blood, sweat, tears, the works.
And that
All
was already your triumphant return to it, right? After
yeah,
taking a
yeah.
break. So yeah, that
So
sucks, dude.
you know, finally releasing like a fucking an album. Yeah, it was heartbreaking. So I was like, I'm gonna switch, because I've got so much creative energy from like that I can't just do nothing.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, I'll get back into the beats. And a former colleague of mine put me onto the MPC software, and it was like it was like I made it. It was so perfect. Like everything about it spoke to it was just like it was like we spoke each other's language. It was just perfect.
Yeah.
Everything that I would want beat making software. Well, it was actually the first. Like I was familiar with. I used Cool Edit to do mixtapes, and I was familiar with Pro Tools, but I never really used software to make beats. Like I used I'd used the MPC
Actual
XL
NPC. Yeah.
before that, but the software just fucking changed everything. Being able to include all the plugins that I had, to be able to shape sounds on the go is like being able to mix your beat on the go. Like, so that's something I could never do in the machine. You always had to like pre EQ everything and just hope that that it all works together in the machine. Being able to have that kind of control in the software was fucking incredible. And from there, excuse me, in the beginning it was just I didn't even want to fucking give rappers no beats. I wasn't doing it with the thinking that I'm going to produce for people. I was just having fun making beats.
Okay.
And
So there
then
wasn't even an intention to like, be the guy who puts out the beats that people study to or whatever. The
no,
fucking
no,
just
no. I
put
was
out
like,
instrumental
the
albums.
rap
Okay.
thing was tainted. This was pure. Like there was it like I'm starting from scratch, and I was like, "No, I don't want anything fucking this up and turning this thing ugly." So my initial thing was just I'm just gonna fucking make beats and be happy. And then of course, you know, enough people hear the shit, and Marco hears what I'm doing, and just the desires changed over time. And I met some rappers who were really fucking good at rapping, and they liked my shit, and then it happened.
Sure. So
Now I'm producing for people.
yeah, you gradually started selling beats to people as they started knocking on the door more and more.
Not even
Um,
not even selling, man. I barely sold any beats. Most of the shit that I've done, it's been for free, which
okay.
makes all of the next groupings of breakups and drama that much more frustrating, because like I didn't make any fucking money out of any of it. So it was like,
Yeah.
here we go.
Damn.
One
Uh,
of the biggest regrets, if I was to have a regret, because regrets are a funny thing, right? It's like when you look back and you go, oh, I would have changed this, I would have changed that, but then you think about the things that you have in your life that you're grateful for. You might not have any of those things. Like
yeah.
I might not be friends with Premier like I am now. The Dookie Bros might not exist
Right.
had and it's like I can't even imagine a world where those two things don't exist.
Right.
So
Sometimes the L's can, lead you places and you wouldn't have got the lessons that you got without taking some of those L's along the way, right? Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So I don't want to say regret. If there's another word for it, it's I certainly look back on things, and there's things where I was like, oh man, it's too bad that happened, or I wish this had went down differently. But at the end of the day, I guess all things happen for a reason, and I'm pretty proud of the things of the work that me and my rhyme partner franchise have done over the last 3 years. I'm proud of, I'm proud of my relationship with Premier. Um, yeah,
So I wanted to
I'm
ask more about that. That was something I had on the list. You mentioned, going to D&D for the first time, and that was the first time you met him, but, like, how does one even get in the door at D&D? Is it that's,
Well, I mean,
something.
we got close, man, because we talked for like what felt like forever, just on like Gmail chat, just back and forth conversations before I even got the like a beat. And that's just how it goes, like
Yeah,
Mark, it was, I'm sure if I had slapped like $200,000,
sure,
on his lap and was like, "Give it to me." But he's a busy guy, man. Like this, you're talking about like the greatest producer of all time. Like he's a busy dude,
100%.
So I was willing to wait, and it's not like the wait was frustrating, of course, because it's like I want my beat, I want my beat, I want to make my record, but at the same time, it's like during the wait, you're getting to talk to like the guy, and he's telling you all of the stories, and it's the fucking greatest thing ever. Like he'll sit and we'll talk for like 2 hours, and by the end of it, I'm just like, holy fuck, I can't believe I know all of this now. Like it's
Yeah,
fantastic,
it would be
and
amazing, man. That's
when
incredible.
people ask me if I'm ever gonna work with him again, like I don't know, but I don't push for it because honestly, like having him as a friend is more valuable than it's nothing I
Yeah,
could have ever foreseen, and I value it more than I can say. Like,
yeah, dude, that's amazing shit. Like, to be able to work with a legend like that even once is, something to have on your resume and be happy for the rest of forever with, I feel like,
yeah,
you
man,
know,
yeah,
yeah,
he's a
that's
great dude. I love him, man. I can't say enough good things about him.
C
He's just
can I ask you, I saw a lot of negative opinions people were throwing around, when his album with Nas finally dropped after all this time or whatever. Personally, I liked it. I posted some stuff shitting on the people who were shitting on it. Um, what did you think of that album, man?
Well, I mean, I'm had the privilege of being able to hear the entire album in every stage right from the beginning. So from the first song that was made, all the different versions of those songs, I got to even help out a little bit with some technical things towards the end. He needed a hand with some stuff, and while he was up before he went off on tour with Alchemist, and while he was on tour, but he knows I've always got his back. Um, and I personally feel that it's one of the most important hip hop records to come out in years. And when I say it's important for the culture.
Yeah,
Who at Nas's level, and then we're talking about a fucking billionaire who does not need to rap again ever.
yeah,
But who at his level is doing songs about pause tapes,
right. It's
is
beautiful,
doing a
man.
fucking
It was
6 minute
beautiful.
song dedicated to fucking graffiti artists. Like,
Yeah,
they're none of these drumless fucking drug rappers out here are doing songs about fucking pause tapes, and you know what I'm saying? A full song dedicated to female MCs, naming the legends from the past, the present. Like
that's the
no
thing. They
one's
paid so much, respect backwards, right, and took
That
the
record is the
entire sound of
ultimate
the
love
record.
letter to the culture. It's the ultimate love letter to hip hop. And you can
Yeah.
bitch and complain about this and that, but there ain't nobody out there is doing what they did at the level that they did.
Yeah.
And
And
if you
still
to me, it's
continuing
like,
to do it now and bring it to a younger generation who wasn't around necessarily in that era and putting it in front of them, just to keep the traditions going and point backwards at the roots of where this all started, because I think, it's a pretty common belief that people should respect and uh uphold the traditions of hip hop, right? Like there's a lot of people who get into it now and they'll talk about like, yeah, I don't know all that old stuff, and it's I kind of think like, really? Like that's fucked up to me that you didn't bother to go back and do the history. Like I wasn't listening to it when it was all dropping in the late 80s and the early 90s and all the legendary stuff. I was young, I was too small and not anywhere near it in the world. So like I had to go back and do a bunch of history, but like that was fun. It didn't feel like a chore. It felt like sweet. I'm gonna go back and fucking listen to everything KRS-One's ever said. Like, and really lock in and explore the different corners that kind of built the shit. But I think a lot of people miss that building block, miss that step, and it's sad, like
Well, a lot of that has to do with the fact that a lot of kids today are growing up on a version of rap music that sounds nothing like what we grew up listening to. So I mean, you're talking about like it's almost like two different genres.
yeah,
Someone coming from listening to like modern, like trap and things like that, and drill, and asking them to listen to like boom bap from the '90s. It's like listening to fucking something completely different. You're either gonna dig it or you're gonna be like, what the fuck is that shit, right?
I
But
mean, that was still the same though when I was, in 2005, 18 years old, and I'm, going back listening to stuff. Like it's not like KRS-One's early stuff sounded like what was hot in 2005 either, you know.
no,
Um,
no question.
right. So like of course it changes, but I just feel like it's like show respect to the originators that fucking built this shit and go back and take it in with fresh ears and like give it a chance to see what people saw in it.
Well,
And
that's our job, right? Like that's
yeah,
our and I love that like Premiere like continues to hold that down, and that Nas, even in the position that he's in, still feels a responsibility
yeah,
to teach and speak on those things, because really like that's the only way that we're gonna that hip hop is going to survive. That the culture that we know it in the music is going. I mean, the art is alive and well. Like people
yeah.
out there are doing all of the things. So
You
I'm
can
not
find
worried
any
about
type of
the
hip hop
culture.
you
Is
want,
nothing that is not. It's alive and well.
yeah.
But the elements infused in the music, that's a whole other thing. That's why when I tried to explain the difference between to people between like what I consider rap and hip hop, it's like, well, if you don't even have any fucking scratching on your records, like that shit really fucking annoys me. Like
Right.
it does. To me, that's a big deal. And it's like if you don't speak about anything that has anything to do with hip hop, then how can you call what you do hip hop music?
I wanted to ask you if you do the other 2 pillars of hip hop, like you MC, you DJ and produce, you tag, can you break dance?
I can't, and I can't. I'm a fat guy's not trying to fucking to dance.
Sure, I just wondered, maybe you were
I
the
had
all
I
elements
had a
guy, you know?
time. It was
Yeah,
back in the '90s. Like in the early '90s, I used to study like Exhibit F and DRK and fucking all the great fucking dancers and all the videos. And me and my brother had routines, and we used to go to fucking like preteen dances and battle and do all that. Did more Running Man and Roger Rabbit and all that kind of shit than like breaking. Like I have no
sure.
athletic ability. I don't have an athletic bone in my body.
But you've
So
been
yeah.
out there and seen it and been part of the
Oh
scene
yeah,
where
dude.
it
I used to
happens, so
fucking I used to go to like in the late '90s, early 2000s. There used to be a bus trip that you could take from Nathan Phillips Square in Toronto, and it was a bus trip to New York for the Rocksteady anniversaries. And we'd go for the whole weekend. We'd stay at the fucking Carter Hotel in Manhattan. We'd watch b-boy battles, and then there were performances all week. I used to love that shit, and I'd stay for the for all the b-boy battles. I'd stay for all that shit. I have like all kinds of b-boy battle tapes on VHS here. I love all that shit. I couldn't
yeah.
tell other than I couldn't tell you a lot of these guys by name. But like I grew up watching Rocksteady. Like that I loved all that shit. It wasn't something that I was able to participate in. Like I got in
Chat
where I fit in.
chat's
I had
telling me
one
not to.
experience bombing a train. One
Oh, okay.
experience. One. It was very scary. Very scary. Late night. We're all dressed in black, but black knapsacks. Like I've never sprayed anything before. So when my boy put a spray can in my hand and was like, "Go for it," I'm like, "Bleh." Like just I don't. It didn't look. Probably just looked like whatever. Like my 5 year old did it or something. Maybe he would even be better than me.
Yeah.
It was terrible, but I got to be there for the experience of like, yo, let's get the fuck out of here, and running home, and it was it was scary, but it was dope. I can say I did it once.
Well, about the b-boying, I've got somebody in chat here, DJ Franchise is saying, "Don't lie, I've seen the shuffle." So maybe the Shylow shuffle is
Oh, is that what? Wait, is that DJ franchise or franchise? That's AKA Franny,
oh,
my
I guess
partner.
it's just Franchise. It's not DJ. The other guy has
Okay,
the
hold
D
on a
at the
second.
start
Maybe
of
I
his
need
name.
to bring up the fucking the chat on Twitch in the background so that I can
Yeah, you
uh
could. The more viewers, the better, man. Get the viewer numbers up. Why
let's see
not?
what these fucking fools are saying here. Hold on a second.
Now he claims he is a DJ. Franchise says he's the DJ, you're the rapper.
Oh yeah, okay, buddy.
Uh, I did want
There
to
you go.
ask you though, man, if and this is something I've
Oh
asked
yeah,
other
that's franchise 416. Yeah, that's Franny.
yeah. I
Like an
saw him
idiot.
in your Twitch chat the other day. I appreciate people actually coming over to watch this thing who caught on from over there.
Yo, quick shout to D-Less. That guy is a fucking monster on the beats. I was in his stream the other day, and holy fuck, he was playing some crazy shit. Everybody, please follow and support D-Less, man.
Boom. Just hit follow.
Damn,
There it
amazing.
is.
Shouts to everybody in the chat.
I wanted to ask you though, bro. So you DJ, you MC. Uh, if we include making beats as part of the DJing element, can you tell me? Okay, so if you could only do one or the other, which would you choose? If something happened and you were forced to only do one or the other, what are you choosing?
Be like beats or DJing.
Yeah. Well, no, sorry, MCing or DJing, including the beat making side in DJing.
Oh, MCing.
MCing, okay.
Yeah, for sure. Even though uh, I don't know, that's a tough one. That's a
Yeah.
tough one. Like if I could rap forever, I would because I love it. I love writing shit. I love it. I love it. And like I never, there's just things that I haven't done yet that I want to do that I don't think that I'll be able to do that, I'll always wish that things were a little bit different on that side of things. I never, like, yeah, yes, I did get to go to a couple places with Marco, but I've never, like me and Franny never got to do a world tour, or a European tour, going and rocking stages and doing our thing. Like we only have literally one show to our name, one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the politics, man. Like we're not willing to pay $500 to open up for somebody. Like that just sounds fucking ludicrous. Like, but that's the way that shows are now. It's like, yeah, no, you got to pay to perform. Well, I'm
That
trying to
shit's so
make
whack,
money, so
man.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Like I got mouths to feed over here. I'm not trying to pay to be on stage for people to just like stare at me. Like, no
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah. Easier to make money as an MC or as a DJ and beat maker?
Oh, as a DJ and a beat maker for sure. Ain't nobody paying for features. ain't
I hear
nobody
that.
ain't nobody out here paying for no verses.
Yeah, word, man. So I don't know. Did we get up to the Dookie Bros era? Have we got there yet?
No, we haven't. So okay, so
Okay.
we did first division era, right? And then we did I'm back into the beats now. So then I guess there's the Rebel Embassy era, which was I did an album with Ninth Uno as a duo called The Shelter,
Okay.
uh, which
I
was
didn't know
like my
that.
my first full produced album ever. And that came out through Tough Kong Records.
Nice.
Uh, Very proud of that record. I started working with a few other guys locally and kind of assembled what I had envisioned to be like my own flip mode squad. Took like the 4 or 5 guys that I was working with at the time, fucking did a group album.
I love
Uh,
how no matter how many of your squads had fallen apart and collapsed on you over the years, you're still just like, yeah, let's get all these dope motherfuckers together and like build the posse
I
again.
love groups and crews, man. What can I say? Like, and
Yeah.
especially when you hear like guys barring out, it's like fucking. I just love. Yeah, I just love good rap shit, man. And I knew talented dudes, so I was like, why not? Like I'm dumb. I'm dumb for it, man. I'm definitely a horrible judge of character, and I've made some pretty fucking stupid choices.
Is it a draw because you like group sessions, like actual the recording sessions? Is it fun, just like to hang out with guys at a group session as you guys are making the music? Like, is that part of the draw?
No, it's just fun to hear the music.
Okay, yeah, just
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
hear
fun
the
it's fun
different
to hear it's
styles.
fun to hear the finished product. I lo and, like, when I've got the verses and I can sit and I can put everything together, yeah, I love the creative process.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would say nothing compares to, the Dookie Bros era. Nothing, nothing,
As far
nothing.
as your enjoyment that you're getting from it, nothing compares, or
Everything, no matter you name it, nothing's better. I've never scratched better. I haven't contributed better. There's no project that has better beats than the shit that we have on our records.
yeah.
There's no rhymes that are better than the shit that we write for these records. There's nothing more fun than what we're doing. Um, yeah, it's been the highlight of my entire career. Getting doing these projects and working with franchise.
Say it a lot that people, you know, end up talking about hip hop like it's a, like it's a sport where it's like you turn 35 and you're gonna pull something in your knee and that'll be the end of you. But like it's not that way, right? Our brains don't work like that. We've maybe once you hit like 80 or something, we're gonna start declining cognitively, but like it takes quite a while to get to that stage. And until then, I think guys can just keep leveling up and leveling up. And like you just said, you're making the
Yeah,
best music of your life right now.
and we do. I feel like we do. Like when I listen to our later stuff, and I still like going back and listening to like our first shit. It's still like wow, listen to the stuff that we were doing. But and then I hear what we're doing now. Like we've got an album right now. I'll announce it right now. Like within the
Yeah,
next few months, we'll be releasing our official sophomore album entitled Number Two.
I get it. I get it. Um, I
Had to
wanted
be done.
to ask you about the name too, bro, because I mean, like, surely you get the same laughs when you tell people you're part of a group called the Dookie Bros that I get when I tell people, like, yeah, I'm interviewing a guy. He's part of a group called the Dookie Bros, and they're, they're like, the what? So, how did you get to that name? Like, what? Fuck?
It was a joke. It was like we were me and Franny were polo shopping downtown Toronto one day and just shooting the shit, freestyling stupid ideas, having some laughs, and he looked at me. He's like, you know what, man? We should honestly we should just call ourselves the Dookie Bros and rap about how we're the shit. And I was like, dude, that's like the fucking greatest idea I've ever heard in my life. Let's do it. And
7,000 shit bar flips later, you guys
buddy,
are
we
2
went
albums
that
in.
day. We went back to my crib. We wrote, recorded, made the beat, wrote, recorded our first song, "Shit on Him." 2 days later, we did the video for it. It
That's
was
awesome.
after that, it was done. It was like, okay, this
So
is official.
hold up though, bro. You said it's number 2, and I mean, I get the name. That's a great name for you guys' second album, but won't this be your third album? You guys did a Christmas album, didn't you?
Well,
That happened.
no,
I
it's still
fucking
yeah.
played it on
See,
Atzik. That
we
happened.
called it the EP.
Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe it
But
wasn't the
it's
full
on the
album.
artwork where it says the EP. I know that Spotify technically, if you have like fucking 7 songs
Right, okay.
these days 6 songs is a fucking album.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's no such thing as a maxi single anymore. Your maxi singles are now a full length album. Like, it's stupid. But like we are recording extra songs to do a deluxe re-release of the Christmas album next year.
So, dude,
Um,
if you can send it to me, like, a week or 2 before Christmas, or let me know about it a week or 2 before Christmas, because
I,
I try to do Christmas specials, and it always pisses me off because people's Christmas song will drop, like, Christmas Day or fucking December 26th, and you're like, "What are we
our
supposed to
goal
do
is
with
to
this
release
now?"
and do
Like,
a deluxe vinyl re-release and to do some actual music videos for it, which we have. This the only project that we've done that we have no music videos for. So yeah, we
okay,
have big plans for it next year. But so
so
technically, yes, you're right. But this would be our official follow-up album
well, let's
to our
yeah, okay.
debut.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um, And yeah, so it's being mixed and mastered right now. That'll be coming. We're aiming for late Feb, more than likely mid March, but it is coming. It's coming.
Nice, nice. What can people expect from that? More
Just
of what they could get from the last one, kinda?
yeah, yeah, yeah. More insanity, crazier beats. Uh, exactly what you would expect from us, but we tried to do it at a higher level. If you can imagine that.
Dope, man. Yep.
I,
Looking
I'm
forward to
I'm
hearing
fucking
it.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't wait for people to hear it. It's fucking great. And
Cool.
the album that was supposed my solo album that was supposed to come out before Contingency Plan, that I have plans to drop that this year too.
So hold
So
up, was Contingency Plan named that because it was the backup to your
well, it
first album that
okay.
never dropped and now is
So I
gonna
guess
drop?
this requires the breakdown then,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So if you listen to the intro on that album, I lay out the entire reason why the album exists.
Okay.
So basically, two guys that I worked with went and used beats of mine on they did a group project and they used beats of mine on their project without permission. And
Ah,
when I confronted them, or one guy in particular, he basically told me, "I don't need to ask your permission for anything. I'll do whatever the fuck I want to do."
yeesh.
Which is basically so that left me
Donald
with some
Trump style.
yeah. It left me in a position I had to think because he had 20 other tracks that he could do the exact same thing with. So I was like, okay, either I try to get their shit taken off Spotify, which sounded like a headache to me, and I didn't really want to go that route.
Yeah.
Or I take all of the rest of the beats and put them out first. So initially, it was going to be an instrumental album, but more like a Peach instrumentals because I had used two of those beats on my actual album.
Yeah.
One of them was supposed to be on the Dookie Bros album, and one of them was being used by a buddy of mine, my homie Famo. Um, so I had to take all of these and put them on the project. So now I've got tracks with vocals on the project. And Franny heard the beat that would become uh, oh, what's the song? Franny, help me out, bro. I can't think of the name offhand. But he heard the beat and was just like, "I need the like, I want to rap on that." Uh, and I was like, "Fucking just write to it and get over here real quick, and we'll knock it out." And he did like he wrote it in a night and came over in a day. It happened fast, and that kind of snowballed the rest of it. It was like, okay, well, I have songs that I made for my album that were on the cutting room floor. Maybe some of those vocals will work on some of these beats. And then I started matching things. Opportunism. Thank you, bro.
There it is. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So the song that was on the Dookie Bros album that had to go on this project was Problem Solvers. So that song was supposed to be on the Dookie Bros album. Um, so yeah, I'm mixing and matching, putting vocals on this beat, putting vocals on this beat, and then it was like, well, I only got like fucking like 6 or 7 beats left. Let me see if I can write some shit, and then it just came together so fast. Like I recorded, we wrote, recorded, mixed, mastered, scratches, everything in 3 weeks.
Damn. Yeah, that is quick, man. Holy fuck.
So when I say at the beginning of the track, I think I say something about big plans for the solo run. My debut album's mixed, mastering's almost done. Prepping for a fourth quarter release. I might do some cassettes, but for sure some CDs. Vinyl would be ill. Blah blah blah. So I
Yeah.
talk about the album that I was actually working on, but then had to put that to the side to deal with this situation. And it's like once Contingency Plan is out there, it's gonna be your debut album, whether you like it or not. Like I had to put it out before anything else happened.
Right. Okay,
So
so
yeah,
you've
when
got
you
the
go
second
back, you'll
one.
hear the intro now, and you'll be like, "Oh, damn!"
It'll make more sense. Yeah. Okay.
It'll
So
make way more sense now.
you've got the second one cooking up right now, though. A
Second
follow
one
up
is
to
done.
it.
Second
Okay.
one is done. I've got features from Little Vic, Bobby J from Rockaway, um, Superstition, My homie Miles Grimes. Yeah, it's a
Damn,
fucking.
nice.
I'm super super proud of it, man. It is not the negative record that that the contingency plan is. It's a very it still has that aggression, but it's not fueled from personal situations. It's just my ode to hip hop.
Nice. Yeah, looking forward to hearing that too, man. Um, I mean, we've almost been talking for an hour here, but I did want to touch on like all these YouTube remixes that you're doing. Can you talk about kind of just the strategy behind that and why you started doing all these YouTube remixes?
The I'll give you the honest reason, and people aren't really gonna like this so much. I'm on a John Cena retirement run right now. Rap is keeping me broke, and I have a 5-year old who wants things, and I want to give him those things, and there's just not enough time at 47 to turn things around. Social media is a fucking mess. Nobody's knocking on my door to give me a deal. Nobody's paying for beats. Nobody's paying for features. Twitch is dying. I can't make money. I'm barely making. I make pennies streaming.
Yeah.
I just unfortunately I wasn't able to find a way to turn making music into a profitable career for myself. So I'm looking at other options, regular 9 to 5 type things, and I'm kind of prepping right now to walk
Okay.
from
So by what part of putting a bunch of remixes on YouTube has to do with prepping for the end? Like just
the
emptying the
putting it
vault
on
of all the
YouTube.
beats?
The put yeah the basically it's like I've
Okay.
got a computer fill. Jazzy Jeff did an interview or a thing years ago, and he said die empty,
Mm,
and
yeah.
that stuck with me. That phrase and that interview really stuck with me. That like, do not go to the grave with a bunch of shit on your computer. And I've kind of lived by that philosophy for years. Just get as much stuff out there as you possibly can. And with I have folders and folders of beats that I really like that like nobody picked for anything, and it's either I put them up for sale, and any shithead like
Well, this was
horrible.
my question is why not let other MCs, see what they like and give you 50 bucks for it, give you 100 bucks for it, give you 300 bucks for it. I don't know what you want to ask, but if you've got them all anyways, like, and they're not going to make you any money
I
doing
do not want to
remixes.
contribute to the whackness that's out there. I don't.
Okay.
There's yeah. I just don't. I would rather hear an elite rapper on my shit as a remix than make a little bit of money making a song that I can't stand listening to.
But hey, listening to your entire perspective on your career so far, it sounds like you can't help but run into a bunch of guys who are good at rapping. Uh, Like,
Yeah, but I'm
don't
done.
you
But I'm
think that
done.
there's more of them out there? Like,
I'm
I know that there are. They're coast to coast. I play them on after the smoke is clear. That you can't possibly think like everybody in the country is actually whack, do you?
no, I don't. But
Okay,
like they're not. But again, like I've done enough freebies.
sure.
I've done so many. Every project that you've ever seen me do is a freebie,
Right.
So it's like, I'm going out on my terms. I want to use these beats the way that I want to use them. I don't want anybody having any say over them. I've just had enough bad experiences with rappers thinking that they call the shots when they're not when they're
Yeah.
not paying for anything. It's like you don't own this beat. Like, so what do you fucking? You can't tell me how to make. You know what I mean? And I'm the one
I,
that winds up
in my
mixing and mastering
opinion,
it too. And you still think that you like
no.
no.
To me, if an MC and a producer are going to collaborate like that, and either guy is paying each other, and it's just like, hey, we're going to collaborate and make this song. Before that thing hits public consumption, you better both sign off on it, and it better be satisfactory to both of you. And if one guy says like, "No, you got to change this," like you got to respect that. And yeah,
Too many
uh,
experience of things not going that way. And in all honesty, nothing, again, like I said, nothing compares to the working relationship that I have with franchise. So if I'm going to continue to do music in any capacity, it's gonna be a Dookie Bros thing.
Okay. I
Um,
was just gonna say, bro, because I think from the story you've told me so far this hour, it sounds like you're gonna have a tough time walking away from it. I feel like
I'm
you have
absolutely
walked
going to
away from this thing
yeah,
several
there's
times,
nothing
and
about this that I expect to be easy.
okay,
I'm not gonna know what it's gonna be like until I get said job, right?
sure.
Whether that's, being a janitor at a school or, garbage man or what, what I don't know what my option at 47 with only music, a
Have you
degree.
managed to fucking pay for your life until age 47 off of music? Is that what you're telling me? Holy shit.
Um for the
Most
barely.
guys have a day job as they
Eh,
make their music. That's, in the
I
Canadian hip
run I
hop
run
scene,
a full-time hip hop buy and sell business called Shy's Hip Hop Market.
right?
Registered it in 2017, and it was doing well for a very long time until the pandemic.
Okay.
Pandemic basically destroyed my business, and I'm basically like continuing to work off of whatever inventory I have left.
Why do you think
Uh,
the pandemic did that? That doesn't
because
make sense. Does it? People
because
moved online during pandemic,
exactly. You spend enough time on Facebook Marketplace, you find out that the stuff that you have in your garage is actually worth something.
Oh, so the
The
market
more
got
the
flooded
more
with
people
everybody.
that are the more people that are like, oh well, I just want to get rid of all this stuff. And then you find out the stuff that you're getting rid of is actually worth quite a lot. And then there's many places where you can go and post those things and people will pay a
Okay,
lot of money for them. It gets harder to buy shit for dollars, you
that
know.
makes sense. Okay,
Yeah. So it's become very expensive. I don't have the 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 money on hand to buy collections for the prices that people want me to buy them for these days.
right.
So that's dying out. Um, I had a falling out with Marco Polo that and that has definitely had an effect on some. I was definitely making some money off of some jobs that I had through him that are no longer available to me.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, other just
So
all the
is it
others.
is it more a time constraint thing? Like I can understand, and I think a lot of people step away from music when their family grows, and a lot of the time you see them back in 15 years when that kid moves out or hits high school and doesn't really want anything to do with their parents anyways. I think a lot of people miss their 20s for that reason and come back when they're 35 to making music. But like, is it more the time that you just want to spend more time with the family? Because at this point, don't you have all the gear? Like, you can keep making music for pretty close to free, other than like if you want to promote it and push it to the world.
Yeah, but I mean, but again, I don't want to. I want to prepare myself for um for the future. I don't want to just
Okay.
see what happens, right? Like cuz I don't know. Like maybe I get a job 9 to 5, come home, hang out with my family. Maybe at nighttime I just want to play fucking video games and go and get a good night's sleep for a change because I
Right.
don't have to stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning because somebody in Portugal wants to buy a fucking CD collection because that shit's gonna be done. Or I don't
Okay.
have to stay up late nights working on an album because like I've got to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning to go to a job outside of the house. Like I don't know what my life's going to be like, and I want to prepare for whatever changes there may or may not be. Like I may something might happen in the course of the next few months, or that changes everything. Maybe I do somebody calls me and they're like, "Yo, I heard such and such, and that's crazy," and it changes everything. You never know. But
Yeah.
right now. I'm preparing. I'm trying to get all the shit that I have out there in a way that I want it to be presented to people so that they can enjoy it and know that it came out with my vision. And
That's important. Yeah.
and then whatever happens happens. But I just know that I can't bank on things changing in this realm. So I'm gonna give something else a shot.
Sure. You got another 15 minutes here to keep talking?
Of course, dude. I
We
ain't
good?
going nowhere, man. I'm good.
Okay. I promised you that I wasn't going to ask you anything political, but I'm going to ask you: do you have any plans to go to the states anytime soon?
No,
Okay.
no, not until that orange fuck is out of here.
There you go, folks.
Not until he not until he's out of here. That guy's ruined fucking everything for everybody.
Yeah.
Everything.
It's
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. Those the tariffs have completely fucked me
oh,
and
right.
my wife. She has an Etsy business, Moody Bees. If you look her up on Etsy, she sells vintage stuff. It's fun. I sell stuff on there too. There's polo stuff and Star Wars memorabilia and wrestling stuff. There's all kinds of shit on there. But yeah, it tanked both of us because the U.S. is such a huge market, and there's only a few things that are excluded from tariffs. So yeah, it's made shit terrible,
Yeah.
terrible.
I would agree. In many, many different ways, it has made shit
And that's
terrible.
just that's just the way it's affected me on this side of the border. There's also all the fucking absolutely horrible, disgusting shit that you see him do on a regular basis.
Yep.
Um,
Too
there's things
much
I
to
want to say
list.
that I just simply can't say out loud because there might be a knock on my door, like, "Hey, you can't say those things. You're going to prison."
Yep.
But
Yep.
I do hope that karma sees its way to his doorstep one day.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. There you
Yep.
go. Yeah.
And yeah, oh yeah, fuck ice and all that shit too.
100%. Fuck ice
Fuck
all
them.
the way. Yep.
Yep. That's about
Um,
the extent of my political offerings.
no, that's great. I made a video post earlier about how like if I've been listening to somebody for 10 years and I don't know like where they stand on what's happening down there right now, there might be something wrong. Like maybe they should fucking have said some opinion in their music at some point. But
Yeah, I
um
mean, it's hard for me as a Canadian to chime in on shit that's really like like
sure,
I'm
sure.
over here. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be that guy. When
Well, and I
asked
don't
for my
mean
opinion, I'll offer it, but
sure.
it just feels like it would feel forced if I was to try to be like I'm gonna make a political record. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, and I don't think it's wise for anybody to set out to write the entire song about it, but just to sprinkle, and you hear it in people's lyrics all the time. So shouts to all the lyricists who do uh hide some of those things in there, and maybe not everybody catches it, but if you're listening hard enough, you can figure out where they stand on issues.
I
I
think if you
always
look
appreciate that.
at how I represent the culture of hip hop, people people know where I stand as a human being,
Yeah,
as a person. Like I like black music has enriched my life in ways I can't even. Black people and black art has enriched my world in ways that I can't even begin to to express. Like, and
100%, man. Yeah.
I work in honor and in tribute of that every day.
Hell yes.
So you know,
Props.
if
That's
you can't see, you know what I mean. It's not a wall full of you know what I mean. You don't see fucking there's no disrespect, but you don't see like fucking Mac Miller, fucking Everlast,
yeah,
fucking
sure.
LP. You know what I mean? Like
It's not that there aren't good white rappers, it's that it's
it's
weird
not
if
yeah
a
it's
white
not it's
guy only likes the white rappers and doesn't like all the other great rappers of, all the black rappers that are greats who have laid the
but
groundwork
there
for this
are a
fucking
lot of
thing.
white rappers who love to engage in the white rapper conversation, and it's like that whole thing is just like fuck off.
Yeah,
I want nothing to do with it. This is I make
100%.
music to impress these guys. I make music to say thank you to these beautiful motherfuckers behind
Yep,
me. Them.
yep. I've talked a lot about how in Western Canada, there's a lot of, like, white guy hip hop where it's like a bunch of fans who I don't think really respect the culture. They just kind of can relate to like, well, that guy's from the trailer park too, so I like him. But like, you ask them who their favorite MCs are, and it's like, you know, white guys. Like, and that's fucked up. That gives me the instant ick and makes me
Yeah,
go
it's
the
it's
other
like
way.
trying to have like a real head conversation with like an Eminem stan. It's like
Yeah,
you can like Eminem and not like rap at all. Like
yeah,
you can and not know anything about hip hop and still love Eminem to death. So
yeah.
it's like I'm not really gonna try to engage in like a hip hop conversation with
With
with with,
people
with,
who don't know hip hop. Yeah,
with yeah
yeah.
yeah. It's
And
like
and there's a lot of those out there, but they say they like rap. You know, they'll tell you
Yeah,
their favorite rappers or whatever, but if they don't like hip hop. You know, it's one's a culture and one's the surface level music.
big time,
Yeah.
big time.
Okay, bro. So I wanted to do a couple of these how important is questions with
Oh, I've
you.
been looking forward to this.
Good. Okay. So let's start with this one. How important is another artist's opinion of your music?
Not important at all.
Fair enough. Does that go
Not
for
even a little
artists you're
bit.
working with? What if you're collaborating with guys? Will you take a
Oh, that's
critique from a guy who also has a verse on the song?
that depends.
Yeah.
If it's a feature, no. I paid you. Fucking shut up and rap. Just send me your verse. But that also it depends. It entirely depends. If it's someone that I truly respect, and it also depends on how it's brought to your attention. If it's brought to your attention in a way that's respectful,
Right.
and I can see the vision, then and I've had that happen, and I've taken that criticism and I've applied it, and it's only made me better. But yeah, it definitely depends on the situation.
Sure. How important is the length of a song?
These days, it's fucking super important to keep it short and sweet because the attention span just ain't there.
Yep. 2.5 minutes
And
average length.
I will admit to now being one of those guys because the Common and Pete Rock album, when that shit dropped, I felt like every song was three verses, and the
Right.
whole shit felt way too fucking long.
Yeah.
Too long.
Social media has even got us, man. Even people who grew up
Yep.
listening to three verse songs.
I can't
Uh,
lie. I can still listen to the old songs that are three verses long, but someone doing a three-verse song now, it's like, but you're not even really saying much, man.
yeah.
If you're gonna do three verses, you better fucking Freddie Fox the shit out of that third verse. You know what I'm
Jeez.
saying?
Yeah. Or tell us a story from three perspectives or do some fucking unique thing
Yeah.
that
But if
keeps
it's
our
just three
attention. Yeah.
verses of fucking, I did the, it's just like, oh God, come on, is this over yet? And there's no change ups in the beat, like for 5 minutes. Just a
Yeah.
string comes in the hook. Yeah, there's my hook change. Like, fuck, come on, let's go.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. About how important is competition in hip hop?
Extremely important. Extremely important. It's vital. It's vital because you get stale without it. But there isn't much. There isn't much, man. There isn't much. The bar is low. People aren't really trying to be the best.
Yeah.
So there's really only a handful of guys that I look up to, like guys like Ransom, like there's the copyrights and the Elzais and even guys like Conway and Benny. There's guys who really care about the pen and the way that they put words together. Mickey Fax. I look up to those guys when it comes to like competing. Eminem, like I'll even give
Sure.
I'll give it to Eminem. As far as mainstream goes, there's nobody better than him when it comes to syllable work. Like he's a monster. Or
Yeah.
I'd put Royce like very close to him.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
on the
Two from
beats,
the mainstream who are up there. Yeah.
there's not a lot of competition because like a lot of people aren't really making beats, they're just looping shit. So like you gotta look, there's guys like Aesthetic and what's the there's some guys that are on the fucking that are on Instagram that are just like out of this world amazing. Knots is still competitive to me. Guys like him, Kev Brown, I still look to Premiere.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of producers out there that aren't really trying to push the envelope. So there's not, for me, competition is super important because like I'm looking to the guys, a lot of the guys of former, a lot of the guys who like from back in the day, like the old Pete Rock, the old Buck Wild, you know what I mean? And then there's a few guys that are new that I look to, but I wish for healthier competition. I wish there were more guys out there that want to be the best.
That makes sense, man. You got a track on contingency plan that I wanted to ask you about. The second last one, Better Than You. When I was listening to it, I kind of thought to myself, like, there's been this popular commentary and discussion around hip hop lately. with the whole it started, I think, with the whole Drake and Kendrick thing 2 years ago or whatever that was now, I guess. But where people are kind of using sales as a representation of, well, that guy who sold the more albums is obviously the best musician, right? Because he made music that the most people liked. And on one hand, I'm like, yeah, I guess like making music, the point is to have people like it. So if you're the guy that people like the most, maybe you fucking won. Um, what are your thoughts on that, man? Does it matter how many albums somebody sold, as far as whether they're
Not when
the
it
best?
comes to not when it comes to MC skill.
Yeah,
Not when it comes to pen game, not when it comes to, sure, when it comes to record sales and when it comes to the popularity contest of pop music, of course those things matter. But
sure.
that's not what I'm doing. So
Well, and it's a whole different thing. It's a whole like factory system of, a lot of hands cooking the same product, and it's a different thing than being one MC with your pen, writing your own bars and
yeah.
stepping up to the plate to show people what you can do, kind of, I think.
Like
Um,
Franny will send me like a link to a sample and be like, "Yo, fucking this shit's ill," and I might make a beat out of it. But he's never told me how to make that beat. He's never heard that beat and been like, "Okay, now you should do this, you should do this." Like every beat that I make is mine. Every rhyme that I write, even if he's like, "Yo, you know what, you should suggest it." He'll make a suggestion and I'll throw it in, but I'll put my spin on it. Nobody's ever written a rhyme for me. No one's ever made a beat for me. No one's ever ghost scratched for me. Like I do
yeah,
all my shit. A lot of those guys can't say the same. They praise the collaborative process and say, "Oh, it's just when you're making music in the studio, it's all about the collaborative spirit and this and that." That's fine. That's your way of getting out of saying, "I don't write my own shit. I don't make my own beats."
yeah,
Like that's cool for you because you're a fucking gazillionaire and you don't need to care. Like I'm
100%.
over here with my fucking scruples. Okay, like this shit fucking matters to me.
I agree with everything you just said. I just wanted you to rant about it. That was why I had to ask that question. Um, how important is making time to intake media for an artist? Media being, music, videos, whatever you want, books.
I think it's more important if your music is about staying informed and presenting your art as a way of communicating what's going on in the world around you.
Sure,
Um, my music isn't a social commentary. I'm just not that guy. I
sure,
feel like, and I feel like if I was trying to be that guy, there's a million out there, a million dudes out there that could do it way better than me, and I want to be the best at what I do. I don't want to do something and pale in comparison to someone else.
sure.
So I stay in my lane and do what I do, and I don't do like dated punchlines. So I don't need to know about the any current references. I don't want those kinds of things being put into my shit. I try to keep the verses that I write as uh I want to make timeless music. I want you to be able to go 5 years from now, listen to a song and be like, I wonder, did he do this yesterday? Did he do this? Like,
Right.
when did he do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that makes
I
sense.
think it depends on the type of artist that you are. For me personally, no, it's not that important for me.
Yeah. Some guys, you're right though, do like to do the like, get the song out the week after the thing has happened and have the punchline in there that references it or
Well,
whatever.
I think for
That's
like
kind of fun
URL
to
and
hear
King of the
sometimes.
Dot battle rappers, I think it's super important, right? Because you're able to, if you're writing your rhymes and you're only going to say them one fucking time and you're
Yeah,
never going to hear them again other than watching that battle on YouTube, you can use all that kind of shit to punch up your lines and hit people with good current references. But I think for recorded music, it's a different situation.
let me ask you this one. It's another one that I feel like I, know your answer to, but let's hear you put it into a soundbite. How important is studying the legends of hip hop?
Vital.
Yeah,
It's crucial. If you don't do it, you can't hang in a conversation with me. You can't. And if you know what I mean, like you can't, you
yeah,
can't. You
Do you think
can't.
it's important for even kids getting into it now? If you know, if you're talking to a 17-year-old who's just starting to pick up the pen and he wants to be an MC, would you tell him go all the way back? Like really
Yep.
go listen to all the way back? Uh,
Yeah, I'd dub
or
him a
is there a
tape of
cutoff anywhere?
I'll
Okay.
dub him a tape of Wild Style and be like, "Go home and watch this shit." You know what I mean? I feel I absolutely feel that it's important
Yeah,
to preserve the art form in its like yeah, it's just I'm very very passionate about that particular aspect. I feel like a lot of people have failed in their job to teach the youth where this thing comes from, and that's why you hear a lack of that information in the rhyming.
yeah,
That spirit, the competitive spirit, the cultural spirit, the essence of the art form is missing in the talk. That's why
sure.
today I don't feel like most of the I don't even a lot of the underground shit to me doesn't really feel like the shit I listened to back in the day because they're not coming from that perspective.
Yeah.
They're listening
Well,
to what people are doing now. They're mimicking what they hear now, but most of the stuff now isn't rooted.
right.
So yeah, I feel it's absolutely important, and it's our job to continue doing what we're doing, so that we can.
Hell yes. I think like, you know, I will give a little bit of leeway to the youth these days because when I was 18, it like I said, I went back and did homework, but I was doing that homework between kind of buying the 3 hot new CDs every week. I would also buy 2 more that were old at the same time or whatever. But now the speed at which media is produced and there's so many new drops every fucking week, so many new like so much new music, whatever it is, 120,000 new songs a day on Spotify or some dumb shit. Um, that there is, you know, I think that the youth today just can spend every minute of their time consuming new media, right? There's not as much time where it's like, well, fuck, I've kind of listened to everything that's out right now. I better go back and do some history, you know? And it's yeah, it was never that I had listened to everything that was currently out, but it felt more like it in 2005 than I think in 2025 or 2026 now, I guess. It's the new year.
Yeah,
Holy shit. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's hard for anybody coming up now to feel that doing that is important without somebody telling them that it's important and explaining to them why it's important. Like
Yeah.
pointing out the differences between the way that the music was then versus the way that it is now. You can only do that by like showing them examples. Like here, listen to this song. Yes, I know it's 3 verses, but listen to those 3 verses. Listen to what that person is saying. Listen to the conviction in their voice. Listen
Yeah.
to the way the beat was constructed, and think about like even trying to explain to them like the machines that they were using and the limitations of an SP12, like what you could and couldn't do with that machine, and how guys like Pete Rock and Large Professor were using like that S950 in these innovative ways to make shit that's like we're so fucking spoiled today. You know what I mean? I
100%,
think
man.
I think a greater appreciation would comes with understanding the history and how hard people fought for things to be the way that they are now.
Yeah. Yep.
Because we take it for granted, right?
And we shouldn't. But yeah, I think a lot of people definitely do. Okay, let's do one more of these, man. How important is making music that women like? I wanted to ask you this one specifically because I heard you've got a track where you're, you know, rapping to your wife, I think, and it's kind of about your family all in general, but there's a lot of love for your wife on there. And you've also got songs that I think would fall into the category of scaring the hose music, which isn't at all something that women are going
For
to
me,
listen to.
it's the genre. Gender of the gender of my audience is clearly male. But I'm not making man music. Like
Sure.
I'm just making the music that I make. I don't like love songs unless they're R&B songs, and I can't sing. I don't
Okay.
like rap love songs, so I don't want to make them. I fucking anytime like my heroes like LL Cool J and these guys that those are songs for women. Women love them, but like I don't like those songs, so I don't make those songs. And plus, I'm married, so talking about love and all this other shit, it's like, yo, I'm
Right.
gonna say those things to my wife. The other shit that I say, I'm saying for the sake of entertainment. It's all horseshit, and I think everybody fucking knows that.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not out there fucking no mothers.
It's pretty tongue in cheek. Yeah.
Yeah, none of this shit that I talk about. But that's the whole point, right? Like that's the whole point of Dookie Bros. It's like it's just fun. So shut your fucking brain off, nod your head, listen to the dope scratches and the fucking crazy rhymes, and laugh for fuck's sakes. Relax. It's not that serious.
100%. Dude, I
Good.
lied. I want one more question here.
Oh, go as long as you want, man.
Okay. How important is buying features? You've talked a lot about all the various famous artists who you've worked with over the years, um, and that's one strategy that a lot of MCs take is like try to buy the big name feature, and that'll get you into more ears.
I mean, if you can afford it, it's great. If you can afford to get like relevant features, I'm sure that's even better.
Sure.
Me, I never cared about having somebody's name value added to my shit. I just, like I did records with Ed OG and Granddaddy IU and DV Alias Christ and fucking guys that I just looked up to and respected. You
Yeah.
know, like fucking doing a song with like with Miles Grimes and Lil Vic and these guys. They're not gonna make me millionaires, but fucking these are guys that I look up to and respect, and that's all that fucking matters to me. But like if you're looking to to blow up, features are a good way to be able to expose yourself to other audience to other audiences. Like
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to branch out very far if you just stay within your bubble, and that's certainly a thing that has hindered me. But I'm stubborn. I can't help it. Like I can't help
Um,
it.
about how important is a producer tag? I heard you dropping a schwang on your maybe I made the wrong noise there, but yeah, the producer tag at the start of your beats. Do you have those? I
I
heard
don't.
you on
I
Twitch
don't.
the other day do
Yeah, no, I do.
some
Oh,
drops.
the with the like all that. That's just
Yeah.
fun DJ shit. I don't put any of that in my beats. I think producer tags are pretty. I was gonna use a different word, but I'm just gonna say they're dumb.
Okay.
I understand I understand their purpose.
Right.
I think they're stupid. I don't want to hear that. Like a primo beat comes on, it's a primo beat. He didn't need to go DJ Premier like at you know what I mean? Like it's come on, man. Use your fucking ears.
Sometimes he does go premiere.
On his radio show.
That was a thing. Yeah,
On his
that
radio
happened.
show as a DJ. That's different. Like doing
Sure.
it on your song, like fucking I'm sorry, static selector. Like,
Right.
dude, we're listening to your album. I know it's you.
Yeah, especially on your own album. I think
You're on your
if
record.
it's
You're
like
on the
on
cover.
somebody
It's your
else's
name.
album.
I know this is you. For fuck's sakes, what are you doing?
Yeah, if it's on somebody
Let the
else's
other
album,
guys say it. Let
I can
if it's a
excuse it,
beat
but
on someone's album, let them fucking say it. Like I don't know,
yeah.
man. I just think I understand it, but I think it's stupid, and you'll never hear me do it.
Great. Great answers for the how important is section, man. That was fun. Before I let anybody out of here, I always ask everybody, can you describe your local hip hop scene?
I don't know the local hip hop scene because I don't go outside. I don't go outside, man. Like I think I went to maybe one or two concerts period last year. At best. Don't know if I'll go to any this year. I just yeah, I'm not out there very much, man. I'm at home. I'm in the lab. I'm working on shit here, and I'm spending time with my family and my close friends. But I wouldn't say that I'm not active in the scene
Sure.
in that way.
Um, Anybody whose music sticks out to you that you think could be getting more attention from people who might watch an interview like this or listen to after the smoke is clear?
In Toronto or
Yeah,
in
in
around
Toronto
here.
specifically. I mean, in Canada on a wider scale, preferably not Americans. I don't know.
Yeah, Dookie Bros.
Okay. Yeah. Tap in with the Dookie Bros.
And
Does franchise do
end
solo
of
work?
fucking story. Uh your show, your local show sucks without us. From this side of Canada to this side of Canada, your local shows suck without us. Everything, your Canadian radio show sucks without us. Everything that you do sucks without us. The end.
Just gonna say there's a lot of Canadian radio shows that I'm gonna go ahead and jump on your bandwagon and say suck because they're playing like fucking Tribe Called Quest. We all know where to find Tribe Called Quest. We don't need you to play it on your college radio show. Um, that's just always been my opinion. But especially since the streaming era has come around, play some fucking people who are on the come up. Play some undiscovered music. Break some music. That's a part of being a DJ too. I feel like a lot of DJs are obsessed with how well they can cut fricky fresh, and that's cool. You know, turntablism is cool, but like being part
Play some dope shit.
playing some new shit is
Play
also
some dope shit, man.
part
Shouts
of
to
being a
Rob
good DJ.
Bombastic, man. He plays fucking dope shit on his show, man. Shouts to Rob.
Yep.
And yeah, shouts to all the Twitch DJs, man. Fucking full blast, fucking Brown Hornet. There's so many guys. Shouts to Missile. Shouts to shouts to the whole Twitch community, man. Shouts to you, bro. Shouts
Hey,
to you for this
thanks,
shit.
man. Appreciate
Shouts
it.
to you. Fuck.
It's fun, man. I like talking to all these artists. It's a blessing to be able to do this show. I can't believe that I'm 124 shows deep or whatever the fuck it is now, and that I've got to talk to so many artists across the. I'm 1 degree of separation from anybody in this fucking national industry at this point, and it's just because people like to talk about art and nobody else was doing it. So I was like, well, fuck it, I'll do it every week then. So
Bro,
here we
you're
go.
doing a service, and it's important work. And yeah, man, I fucking I'm honored to be a part of the that you asked me to be a part of the show, man.
Hey, I've been watching your work for years now, man. I've been doing After the Smoke is Clear for 6 years and have been tapped in listening to your stuff. So yeah, of course. You asked earlier why are we doing this interview after you watched my fucking clip about how like MCs should shut up if they've got nothing to say. Uh, but
I'm like I've made a whole fucking we made a whole group about just talking shit,
hey,
like
yeah,
we
no,
don't have anything to say.
but dude, I'm a fan. You know, you guys are true to the culture, and I can tell that there's a lot of passion behind the music, and that it's not just a money grab. That's the guys I don't want to talk to. If the guys who are in this shit to be a businessman and not a rapper, like the whole fucking just get money and it's a hustle for them, like fuck all that. I mean, all the power to them. I hope they make the money and it goes well for them. But I have always encouraged people that like you should get a job if you want to make money. Fucking go to school if you want to make money. Like make art if you want to make art. And you know, I can tell you're making art because you want to make art. So yeah, props
Yeah, and
on that, bro.
that's the whole thing, man. Is that like I at the end of the day, I do need money, and I'm just not willing to do dirty shit with my art to get it. So I'd rather, you know,
Yeah,
I want to
there you
keep what
go.
I'm doing close to my heart and stay true to it. And yeah,
How about this, man? Are there any Canadian artists who you'd like to collaborate with who you haven't collaborated with?
there's a lot of legends out there that I'd love to do a song with Maestro. I would love to do a song with Kish. I would love to do I would love to do a song with the Rascals. I would love to fucking, to get Obscure Disorder back together and do something with them. Like, like the guys of old, man. There's a few dudes, who can spit, in this new era, but there's a lot of egos and a lot of shit that I'm not even gonna bother getting into.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, there's a lot of dudes that had a big influence on me as a kid, and that are still doing shit. Frankenstein is still doing music.
Yeah.
Would love to work with that guy. Yeah, there's a lot of dudes, man. A lot of
Right on.
dudes.
Yeah. I always like to ask that question and hope that somebody breathes it into reality and, you know, that word gets to one of these people and they go, oh, fuck yeah, let's do something. So, yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully that happens,
I
man.
did a remix of a Maestro song called "I Know Your Mom's," and he saw it, and I think he liked the post, but I was hoping that he would comment and fucking because I did my thing with that one, man. Fucking
So, yeah. So most of those remixes, are you pulling them out of the vault, or are you making custom beats for some of those tracks? Like,
most of them are out of there's a few that I made custom because I just didn't have anything to suit them. In
okay,
all honesty, I've used RA the Rugged Man. I was trying. I met up with him when he came down here, I drove to Brampton where they were staying, and fucking and brought like 30 beats. I brought a boombox with me to fucking play them on and everything too, because they didn't have anything in their Airbnb to play shit. So I
now is
brought my
this most
fucking
recent when he just toured
yeah.
Canada, like with J Reds or whatever those guys?
Yeah, and
Yeah, yeah,
so I
okay,
brought my box and fucking played like 30 beats, and he picked nothing because because it was all album songs, you know what I mean? And he specifically he's like, "Yo, I want a banger, I want a banger." It's like I'm running out of bangers, man. Like I've used a lot of those for like my shit for Dookie Bros. Like I got a lot of like kind of mellow
right.
album cut stuff, and that shit's not really like it's not gonna get social media like wilding out over anything. So yeah, there's every now and again I'll land on something where I'm like, oh, I want to do that, but I have to make something new for it. And I still got it in the tank, man. I can still knock out some new shit.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm
Looking
not gonna
forward to
stop. I'm
hearing
not gonna
more of it.
stop, mate. Like I'm gonna stop working towards releasing shit
Right.
and pursuing a career. I'm
Take
not
the
gonna
stress
stop
out of it.
making music. I
There you
don't
go.
know how. I don't. That's not possible.
That's good to hear. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good
I'm
to hear.
never going to stop making music, but the full time because like I said, from 2017 up until now, doing Shy's hip hop market has allowed me the opportunity to work from home, which
Yeah.
has also given me the opportunity to do more things musically and to truly give myself a shot at pursuing this. And it's just yeah, it's a timing and an age thing. I'm not in a position to do it anymore. It's causing my family to have to go through hardships that they shouldn't have to deal with. And yeah, I'm just trying to to be a good husband and a good father. And yeah, think about others instead of just me.
Yeah, man.
I'm not the only
That's
one who
big.
lives here.
Yeah. Dude, I appreciate your time. Before I let you go, are there anything else we got to plug? Any shows coming up or tours or projects that
Oh,
people
I
can
wish there
buy?
was a tour to plug, man. Are you fucking kidding me? When there is one, can I come back?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, anytime. I tell everybody, anybody who's been on this show, if you've got new stuff dropping, like get at me. We'll book another one for sure. I'm always down to talk. Yeah.
I would just say, for anybody who's watching and listening, just follow me on anything that you can. I'm dropping these remixes left, right, and center. My Instagram, almost every social media platform is some form of Shylow, Shylow, aka Predacon, Predakhan. So
I
the
wanted to ask you where the fuck Predacon was from. I forgot this whole time
that was one
to
of my first
ask that.
aliases back in the day that I loved,
Okay.
but I don't know. There was for whatever reason I didn't make it just my name. I think I'd already done so many songs as Shiloh. I was like, well, I'll just make it an AKA and I'll use it every now and again. But I think it was Beasties was where it came from, like the animal version of Transformers.
Okay. Yep.
The Decepticons in that show were known as the Predacons, and my last
Okay.
name is Khan. So my name
Ah,
is Jason Khan. So I
there you
was like,
go.
Preda, Con, neat. Put them together.
Nope. I like it, man. This has been fun. I hope we can talk again. Keep sending
Of
music. I'll
course.
keep playing it. Yeah, I'll be tapped in.
There'll be more, man.
Appreciate you.
It's gonna be a busy year.
All right, man. Looking forward to it. All right,
Thank you,
peace.
bro.
All right, everybody. So, yeah, big ups for coming through, hanging out in Twitch chat. Like we said at the start of this, it is tough to get people to come through for Twitch chat. But I am, in fact, here on Twitch every Tuesday night talking to a different Canadian artist. Last week I talked to Junk. Next week I'm talking to Fresh Kills. I've got a full schedule here. So yeah, next week, Tuesday night, we talk to Fresh Kills. He's obviously an MPC sample band legend. Very, very dope dude from Toronto. talked to him before. He's one of the few guys I've had on Flying Formation who I've met in person. Uh, Aside from the other Alberta guys I talked to on this show, but I did get a chance to meet Fresh Kills when he came through on tour with King Just last 2 years ago now. I don't really remember, but yeah, looking forward to talking to him next week. He's got a new set of twins. And he's really dabbling more into the singing side of his career at this point, so should be fun talking to him. January 27th, another, I want to say legendary Canadian producer, Starcore, will be in the building. When I say in the building, I mean joining me by Zoom call, of course. February 3rd, I'm talking to Edmonton-based artist Just Jordan. That's another repeat guest. He was on a couple years ago. He recently hit on his YouTube account 100,000 followers. He was posting about, look, I hit 100,000. Thanks everybody. Just before New Year's this year. So, I'm very interested to talk to him and hear more about that journey, just how the fuck he did that. Because when I last talked to him, he did not have 100,000 followers on YouTube. He was, making moves and putting music out to the world that people like. But 100,000, that's a pretty big fucking milestone. So we're picking his brain February 3rd. February 10th, Zeppo, dope Toronto-based MC, album coming out. So we're going to talk about February 17th. I am very excited to talk with Asa or Juco. Two of my favorite Canadian lyricists, those guys. They both have just really on point delivery as well as actual intelligent shit to say some of the time. It tends towards the gangster rap side of the spectrum, I guess, rap side of the spectrum a little bit more than towards the conscious side of the spectrum. But, I've talked to both of them in the past. They dropped an album called Two Birds in December, which is super dope. Like maybe my favorite album of 2025. Up there with my favorite Canadian albums of 2025 anyways. So February 17th, Asa on Eastwood and Lord Juco. That'll be fun. February 24th, Michael Shabazz. He's a St. John-based guy out on the East Coast. Dope MC. Says some smart stuff on a lot of his songs. Looking forward to chopping it up with him. But yeah, every Tuesday we're here. A lot of afternoons through the week. I am on Twitch, either working on my own music earlier this afternoon, running a studio session. I had an MC named Crucifix come through, and he just about lit the booth on fire, did 4 songs in a row. That was fun, but yeah, I'm always on here either working on my own music, other people's music, after the smoke is clear, listening to new music to keep up with all the new music play on After the Smoke is Clear. A lot of the time Wednesdays or Thursday afternoons, I'll be actually DJing, putting some cameras at my turntables, and make myself look silly because I don't really have hand skills as a DJ. But I do put in work keeping up with all the music and putting together mixes that sound good to some level, that have a cohesion to them, and just kind of do my best to highlight all the talent across the country. But yeah, I appreciate everybody being here. You can always find me on all the social media. Doobyis, easy to find anywhere. Doobyis.com is the hub for everything that I do. Hit the post section over there. I make a post about every different episode of After the Smoke is Clear or Fly in Formation. So you can read about that stuff. I blog like it's the year 2004. Always busy thinking about hip hop. I appreciate you coming through to hear me think about it with other people. Catch you on the next one.